G'day gamers, Ranger Tony here, back with more of our Avowed playthrough. When last we left off, we are playing our Musketeer character called Porthos, based on the, one of the characters from the Three Musketeers. Couple of things I think I wanted to mention. What were they? Oh, we have unspent ability points. Let's definitely do that. Why? Oh, yes. So there's been an update. It's patch 1.3, I believe. And this right here is probably the main thing that was brought out in the patch. And that is that they added... I said in probably the first stream, maybe the second one as well, but I said one of the things about this game is it very much feels like you don't get enough ability points because originally you just got one per level, and when you look at each one of these little dots, you need to spend an ability point on, and like even on something like Ranger, which probably has some of the fewest amounts of ability points that you can spend, the max level in game, I believe, is around about level 30. You cannot even get like 3/4 of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times 3 is 45, 48, 50. There are 50 points there. At 30, it's close to 2/3 of the points. So there really is, and that's just one of the trees. So there really is this thing where you really do have to keep an eye on it and make a decision what you want to spend your points on, because, there really is kind of a lack of points. So what they added was every 5th level, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, you will get another ability point. And so you can see here, I have an ability point to spend. We are playing a Ranger, and I was saying previously that out of all of the skills here, we took Marksman when we got level 5, because that was the first time we could take that. The only other skills that I really want are Evasive and Tanglefoot, and it was really a toss-up of which one to take. Survivalist is fine, but I don't see it being a major gotta have it, So we're going to take Tanglefoot here, because it's really the only thing we can take. That's going to be the other thing. Even though you're going to get more points, if you're in certain playstyles, you're not going to have anything you want to put points in. For example, I'm also offline playing around with another build. My first playthrough, which I didn't finish, I got to the 3rd area, so the 3rd act, a little bit in there, and then I went back and tried a couple other things. But the very first playthrough I did was as a wizard, and I still enjoyed it. And I've started another little playthrough on wizard, but this time I've called it my Cypher playthrough. I don't know why I've called it that, but it's a wizard who uses pistol and grimoire. The wand is fine, but it's as inaccurate as all hell. It shoots very, very fast, but it is inaccurate. And so you can't get that critical hit by hitting the appropriate spot. But even there, I was finding that, it's still like, as if you're playing a wizard, and I will do a wizard playthrough, and I will explain all of this to people when I get to that point. But if you're playing a wizard, everybody's instinct, you have to take this first, and then everybody's instinct is to start taking these spells. No, don't. The spell that you take is Arcane Veil. The rest of them you ignore. And the reason is you can find all of these spells over here in grimoires. And that's how you should be casting them, because grimoires cost less essence to cast the spell. And as you level up your grimoire and make it more powerful, right, it reduces the cost of casting that spell. But if you cast it without using the grimoire, it requires all of the essence, so you're using more essence. It really is a detriment. But if you can't, using the grimoire, you only ever get the first rank of the spell, right? But if you then learn the spell, you increase the rank by 1 when you cast it from a grimoire. So if I take Arcane Veil as a spell and then cast it from a grimoire, I'm actually casting it as rank 2 from the grimoire, which means it is now, even though I haven't learnt rank 2 here, I've only put 1 point into it, so I've learnt rank 1. When I cast it from a grimoire, I'm using rank 2, whereby it reflects projectiles, which is super powerful, and then you can get rank 3. So you only need to put 2 points into that. I don't think adding the 3rd point is all that useful unless you don't want to use a grimoire. If, for example, you wanted to dual wield, and you can dual wield wands if you want to. They're kind of crappy, but you can do it. You could dual wield wands, and then you could still cast spells without a grimoire. Then you might want to boost this up. But that's the only spell that I would recommend spending money on that is in a grimoire. The rest of the time, you want to put your points from areas over here. And this one is not really all that useful. I mean, it might be good to take that first rank, but as long as you're only ever using light armor, most of the light armor doesn't have a huge essence penalty anyway. So I feel this is more useful if you're using medium armor, which I wouldn't, or if you just want to get the absolute maximum essence. But you need to have, like I said, you need a lot of points. There is a lot of points that you can spend in the wizard tree. I feel you're better off leveling up this spell, the Minor Missiles. It is a very powerful spell. Very short range, though. It's shorter range than you expect it is. And the number of times I've cast it and have the missiles just peter out into nothing and dissolve because my enemy was a bit further away than I realized. That is the only thing that's disappointing about it. But put your points into Minor Missiles and buff that up. And then if you are using wands, consider putting some of these like Wand Mastery, Bounce, or Blast. And then every time you get a chance, put a rank into Grimoire Mastery. Because that unlocks the next level of spells in the grimoires if you can't access them yet. So you won't be able to unlock 5th level spells in grimoires until you take that. So none of these spells will be useful. And Grimoire Snap is super useful. Well, all of these are quite useful. But I find Grimoire Snap the one that I use the most from there. And then you want to go at level 7, 2nd rank, so that you can get all of these. And Missile Salvo is super useful again. And then you want to get level 9, so you can get these. They're all right. I wouldn't use Black Bow, but Pillar and Pull are pretty good. And I haven't used these yet. But, yeah, that's the way I build my wizard. And because I'm using pistol, I actually did take... Well, when I got to level... I put one there, and then I put one there. At level 3, I didn't want to spend a point here. And I didn't really want to spend a point in any of these spells. So I actually went to Ranger and put it in there. I don't know what I did for level 4. Can't remember. 1, 2, 3... What did I do for 4? Did I put it somewhere else? I might have taken constant recovery. Or maybe I did take the first level of Armored Essence. I can't remember now. We could go and have a look, but I won't put us through that. 1 second. I just want to fix something in custom browser. No. There's a doc missing, I think. Oh, there it is. That's bits and channel points. I don't see my my Twitch stats seen anymore. Anyway, that's okay. I won't worry about that too much. Yes, I am streaming at the moment on both Twitch and YouTube. Okay, so what am I going to take here at level 5? I could now take the second point of Tanglefoot. I think would probably be the best. We're not using piercing weapons. We're not using one-handed weapons, so neither of those skills are going to be any use. Scavenger, it's one of those ones that I'll chuck a point in when I've got absolutely nowhere else I can put anything, and I really don't find this all that useful. Like it's unclear to me what Shadowing Beyond is actually doing. It's costing me essence, and it goes through it fairly quickly for me to become invisible, which I'm assuming means that even if my stealth skill, you don't have a stealth skill in the game, but even if I'm not all that good at staying in the shadows or, whatever, it is going to make me even stealthier. But it doesn't feel to me like stealth does that much more damage. It's unclear on the wikis and everything that I've read. So, for example, I think you do an extra 50% damage when you crit. And I don't feel like stealth does any more than that. And it actually goes the same with power attacks. I don't really feel like power attacks are that super powerful. Like, I don't feel like if you charge it all the way up that it really does that much more damage. It feels like it's just as good to charge it for like half a second and then release it. But yeah, the advantages that you get from Shadowing from Beyond, and increased sneak attack damage. Well, it doesn't tell you what that is. So yeah, we're definitely gonna take the extra ability in Tanglefoot to do poison accumulation. But, excuse me, we're gonna try and use this as much as possible. I'm really trying with this build to not do much in the way of stealth. I'm trying to have it so that I'm more of a stand up in your face, just confront you and let's get on with it kind of a build. Hang on a sec. What was that other setting? Seven and 8. I've got to try and remember all my... Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember all of my things because I needed to cough and I couldn't remember what my mute button was. All right. So where are we? Okay, we're here. We've just done the strangle route. We haven't gone back into town yet. But we have done all of this area down here, so going into town is really the next big thing. But because we're here and the Pargrin cache is right there, I think we're going to do that. But it's nighttime already, so let's set up party camp. Okay, Kai doesn't need to talk to me. Another thing that you may or may not notice, and I think this is a good move because as
like the kind of man you'd send to the frontier, does he?
As I said,
much better suited to it.
I really didn't have this problem. I really had this problem initially. I used to stand a little bit further around here. He was sort of standing here looking at the fire, not over here. And by standing here looking at the fire, he sort of occluded or covered up the cooking pot. And I think there were a lot of people that didn't realize when they came over here that you could cook, because this icon that appears here, and the icons on the screen here about the speech bubble over his head and the Kai F talk over here was a little bit overshadowing the Cauldron Cook recipes, and I think people were mistaking them a lot and not realizing that you could cook. And as I said, I actually had that problem for about the first 10 or 20 hours of my wizard playthrough. I didn't really realize that you could cook up stuff. And while I have also said that you do need to be careful what you're cooking, because there are things here that it doesn't make as much sense to cook depending on your playthrough. So for example, I don't feel the stew is really worth cooking because it requires 3 ingredients to give you 70 health and essence. In particular, you need 1 piece of cooked meat. Most of the cooked meat that you have will do anywhere from 70 to 150 health by itself, and then you need to add in a vegetable, and then you also need to add in another cooked meat, cooked fish, or animal product or produce. So that can be cheeses, that can be a whole bunch of different things. And if we have a look at this example, it's going to use these soul sponge berries, tomatoes, and soul sponge. How is soul sponge a cooked meat? I don't get that. But anyway, it feels like the fact that in a lot of cases it's going to use some of your cooked meat. In this case it's not, so it sort of feels like it would be alright to use it. But I just feel like it's a waste. You're only getting a single stew out of it. You're using 3 ingredients. Maybe not the best thing. Same with this sausage. Even though you get 4 sausages out of it, which means, add those 4 together and you're getting 200 points of health and essence. But you need 3 different types of meat. Again, which all could, when cooked, give you, usually about 100 or 150 health. So I just really feel like that's not the best way to do things. Some of these ones that give you bonus effects, like Might and Constitution, yep, if you want to take those, take them, but think of your play style. Do I, as a musketeer, who's just using 2 muskets, two pistols, that's it, do I need Might and Constitution? No. I'm not in the front line. Might, +1 might will increase my damage by 3%. So if I'm doing, what is my muskets at the moment? Each one of my muskets is doing 46 points of damage. So 3% of that, well, 4.6% is 10% damage. So a third of that is an extra point of damage. It's really not worth it to take to have extra might. So yeah, but some of these ones, like this one that gives you plus 20% maximum health, and it lasts for several minutes, so it's quite useful if you want them. Like this one, for example, plus 1 intellect and resolve and plus 10 maximum essence. Okay, 3 ingredients, so not my favorite, but if you're playing a wizard or you're using a lot of spells, the extra intelligence, the resolve not so much, but the extra intelligence and the 10% maximum essence, yeah, that can be useful. As can Merc Brew. Same thing, plus 2 intelligence and plus 10% maximum essence. And you do end up getting a lot of mushrooms, which strangely enough you don't use a lot. I think you can use them in stews and stuff, but not as much. And then you've got this tea, which also gives you plus 20% maximum essence. They're all really useful if you're playing wizards. And there are other ones. This one, for example, is good. Would be a good one for me. Plus 1 perception, which increases crits, which doesn't really matter for me, but plus 1 dexterity and 10% movement speed. That's pretty good for a character like this, where we're trying to maximize attack speed, which is dexterity, things like that. The thing that I think is worth all of the effort is the Mariner's Porridge. So it's doing 70 health and 70 essence, which is the same as the stew. And I think there's one other thing that does that you can cook, which requires 3 ingredients, which gives you similar sorts of stuff. But only 2 ingredients, and they're fairly, simple. They're cooked fish, which a lot of the cooked fish doesn't give you more than 70 health anyway. So you're adding a vegetable or grain and filler to something that's already giving you 70 health to give you 70 essence as well. That works really well for me. The only problem there is being sure you can still find fish. Now, in the first 2 areas of the game, I've never had a problem finding fish. I've played a little bit in the 3rd area, and it's very much a desert area, and I don't know how much fish I will find there. But if I can't keep finding Mariner's Porridge, you can't keep finding the fish to make Mariner's Porridge, that's when I will finally start to make the stew to give me that 70 of both. Having said that, don't just make a huge amount of Mariner's Porridge, because there will be times when you only need to increase one or the other, depending on your playstyle. If you're playing a wizard, you will if you're keeping out of the way of harm as much as possible, you will probably find that you want Arak or All Leaves Tea a lot to try and get your essence back after battles. Don't pop these during a battle though, pop them after battles. During a battle, you use your essence potions, because they're not as effective, I believe, if you use them inside battle, or they take longer to fill up. They don't just go bang like the potion does. So yeah. So I like Mariner's Porridge. I also want to say, and I think I mentioned this in the other episode, have a few grog sitting there, because this cures most effects. If you see yourself in battle and you see there's a little icon, I'll try and point out at some point, there'll be a little icon and it'll be slowly counting down. It'll be over your health area. And you think you've been poisoned or you're bleeding or anything like that, just go in and pop a grog really quickly and you'll see that icon just immediately disappear. It is good. It stops any of that sort of stuff. And if you're going into a battle where you know it could happen, pop it early, because it gives you resistance to poison, bleed, and elemental damage. So, yeah, it's a good option. I'm going to make... So because Mariner's Porridge relies on fish, if there's any fish for me to cook, I'll cook that first, and then I'll make all the Mariner's Porridge that I can. And what this will also mean is if there's other meats that I can cook, I will cook them. I just won't use them to make stew or sausages or this thing, because I'll just eat them by themselves. Maybe, okay, so I will say maybe having one, make one of these Mari Crudier, and you do pick them up occasionally, making one of those, which gives you 8 pieces, being able to just restore like 30 health, sometimes that's all you need to top your bar back up after a battle. So having a few of those on hand is a good idea, but don't just go and turn all of the spare meat and stuff you've got into these things, because Mariner's Porridge is better because it's doing essence and health. Is basically what I'm saying. So I'm going to end up with quite a few Mariner's Porridge here, but that is fine. Okay, we've got rid of all of those. I think I already have. Let's just double check. I'm pretty sure I already have grog. So I've got 17 Mariner's Porridge. I do have a few stews. But see, I've got these cooked rabbit bits, which give me 40. I've got these, which are 150. I could be using those in stews, but it's a waste because they're giving me 150 there, and it'll go back to 70 if I use one of them in a stew. It's just not worth it. Good, I got 5 grog. I think I've picked up those trout pies. I probably will even sell them because I will never use them. And I might even sell that. What I don't know is if some of these other more exotic things ever end up getting used in recipes. There are some extra recipes that you can unlock in this one here, Survivalist. If you get rank 2, it unlocks, well, rank 2 and 3 unlock increased recipes. So I'm sure they'll have some more exotic ingredients, and they may also have recipes that have like 3, 4, 5 ingredients, and you're really going to have to look at it and go, is this worthwhile me doing? I don't think I'm going to cook anything else for the moment. I'm going to leave it at that, but we are going to upgrade, or we're going to look at upgrading our gear. I really feel like the thing that I want to do is upgrade my breastplate. I'd love to get that to fine. I really would. And it feels like it's a waste trying to put too many points into these pistols, because we are going to find a better pistol before too long. And I need one of these pistols to go to fine, and then that's it. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll concentrate. Now that I've got a little bit of an increase of damage, I'm going to just increase that one pistol until I get it to fine. I don't think I had anything left to break down. No, I don't. I wish you could break down these items as well into things, because, well, I do and I don't. They end up becoming a nice source of money when you go to town. But beyond that, it's kind of, what am I using these for? I really don't know. All right. Just a sec. Let me just quickly have a look. Oh, is that all? Radio. Yep. Resume game. Okay, so Hargrun Ruins.
Old fella who used to live here ended up in one of those shanties by the dock. Now I see why.
More softwood branches. Yeah, too far away. There we go. So I could take grog now to get rid of this ice effect that you can see over there, but it's kind of not worth it. It doesn't last long enough. But there's another effect that can appear over there, which is a little bit more troublesome. We're going to just eat one of those quick rabbit bits just to get our health back to full.
In Rawatai, you don't abandon good supplies. I wonder what happened here.
Oh, that's right. Can I fit through here? Where is it? There's something here. Oh, right there. Silly me. There's also... Come over here. There we go. Alright, can we get back up this way? We can. What about... Yep. Wonderful. Alright. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. Settings, UI. Oh, good. I turned it on in my other playthrough. Originally, I didn't want to turn this on. It shows, you'll see just up there, that little orange thing that, or yellow thing that appeared at the bottom. Shows you where the next totem pieces are. I have mentioned that I really don't like a lot of the stuff that appears on the minimap. Excuse me, because you'll notice there at the moment, if you look really closely, there's actually 2 indicators on the map for the item that we could pick up over here. And I find that super annoying. Why have 2 when there should only be 1? And as you get closer, the blue arrow one will sort of disappear. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Alright, there's actually a body just here. Oh no, nothing on that. Alright, we're going to blow through this. That's what these barrels are for. But we'll blow up that one first, just to get it out of the way. Alright. Whoa, rock and roll, alright. Okay.
That looks valid. Want to do the honors and open it?
Sure. Arquebus. Alrighty. I've got to remember to use these Magrin's Blessings. Plus 20% damage, plus 20% damage reduction. The only thing is that I don't feel like on the current difficulty level, I really need it all that often. I think if I was playing on some of the harder difficulty levels, it would make more sense. Okay, here's the weird thing. There is no way to get through that barrier right there, right? I can't break that down and get through it. At least, not that I'm aware of. But I can wipe out that using those Magrins there. But I'll show you why I'm talking about this, because there are these tripwires here that set off these traps, or at least the 2 on this side. And there's another tripwire here. Right?
living
But
land.
there's also a switch here which disarms that trap.
Good builders and explorers.
But there's no need to
Now,
disarm
the
that
last
trap.
of them live in an old keep from Galloway's tusks. This island's never taken kindly to settlers.
Why can I not... There we go, I can jump up there to pick that up. Good. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like you need to disarm that trap. Alright. We got a bunch of undead here. One down. Come on. They're all going to wake up now. We've got a monk up there. Missed with both of them. There's a guy down here. I think that's... Oh no, there's... There we go. Right, I'm going to go up here. Because there is a little bit more loot just here. So we've got to go all the way over this again. And then we're back to here. Let's grab that. Let's grab that. Yeah, I don't know why we pick up that scroll and not some other ones, but that's fine. Like that. Go. Boots of the Bricklayer, I mean, it can be useful. It just depends on what sort of build you're going for. Just increases your carry weight. And I think it increases dodge. Yeah. So it's better than the deerskin boots. And then, you know, steel garrote boots are good if you want extra health and a little bit of carrying capacity. These ones are good if you like to dodge and carrying capacity. I'm going to stick with the Arcanist boots. Just an extra 10% movement speed is quite good. I think there's coins. Yep, right there. And there's that scroll there. Okay, gotta go up. Here. And over to here.
Hey, that looks like a totem to your burned queen.
I mean, you can say my burned queen, but just because I'm a Deeran doesn't mean that I really do worship Wodica. Alright, let's get out of here. Easiest way out is to come... Did I just see... I thought I saw something glowing over here somewhere. Guess not. Does it trigger the light? Yeah, just make your way back down here. It's the easiest way to get down. Well, I mean, it's not the easiest way to get down. You could have just jumped off at the top, but the easiest way to get down without killing yourself is really what I meant to say. Actually, I'm going to go back across the river. Trying to remember if there was anything else in this area that was worth... I'm going to go back across the river, I say, and then what do? Immediately go across the river yet again. That's right, yeah. So one of the guys that you need to kill for a bounty is just over here, so I really wouldn't recommend going over there just yet. I don't know. Part of me feels like I don't have high enough level, and another part of me says, yep, sure, you could do it. I really just wanted to make sure there was nothing under this waterfall. And there isn't. It's a silly little trope, but, you know. Look behind every waterfall. You got to do it. That's the way the game works. So we have really uncovered most of the stuff on the map on this side. That is literally most of the stuff on the map on the west side of the river that you will be able to get to. Sure, there's a little bit of ground there, but there's actually nothing... Well, actually, there is. How did I miss that? Wow. I'll show you what I missed. G'day, Ali. Yep, doing good. Hope you are too. Okay. We might just sell a few things first and see if he doesn't have lockpicks. The one thing that you want to always buy at any vendor is lockpicks. And I gotta say, I'm really not that thrilled with the lockpicking thing in this game, because it's not really a thing. It's just, as long as you've got enough lockpicks, you can pick a lock. We'll break all of those down, I think. And I'm going to sell these. I just don't... Like, I can see the point of having Magran's Fury and Eyes of Rimgar. That one in particular is useful on water to get to areas where you normally can't get to. And Magran's Fury, you could throw it at spiders' webs and stuff like that to break them if you don't want to use Kai. And I really should use grenades just more in general in combat, because they are really, really good. But I don't see the point in these grenades. They just do a cloud of noxious mist, and I don't know. I just don't... I don't know. I'm probably going to be told that, oh, they're the best thing since sliced bread. And they probably are, but that's fine. All right. So actually, did he have any... Sometimes blacksmiths will have upgrading ingredients. He doesn't. Because he's not... Even though he's a blacksmith, he's not really. He's selling stuff from a blacksmith in town. And so is Liana. And I don't want any of that. And I don't want any of that. Okay, so Liana was the one who normally had lockpicks, but she doesn't at the moment. Apparently, every 4 days they restock. So if you just go and rest for 4 days and come back, they will have restocked. And I don't know how many days I have rested since I last bought lockpicks from Liana. But anyway, I digress. Let's go this way for something different. Okay, so over here, over in this area, there's a whole bunch of Zurups with a bear. And then I think there's some beetles as well. Maybe I don't remember fully, but we haven't been to this spot. See, there's the Zurups. But there's the bear.
Next one's mine.
And when you come through at level 5, those guys are much easier than when you're like level 1 or 2. You could have shot that to kill the one that was over here. If you get it, if you do it right, you've got to make sure he's in the right spot. Oh no, that's right. There's a dead bear just there. That was the other thing that was in this area that we hadn't explored yet. I think we... No, we haven't yet. That's right. He's got a spear, an axe in him. And that's kind of it. We are at a position now where we are good to go into town, I feel. We've explored a lot of the stuff in the area. We could fast travel, but let's just run. Run. Ah, here we go. Actually, could I have fast traveled to here? I can. Wow. Excuse me a second. All right. So by fast traveling, I could actually avoid this encounter if I had uncovered that fast travel point before I rescued the ambassador. Interesting to know.
That's far enough, Outlander. Well, well. If it isn't the new arrival. So eager to make a name for himself.
Who are you?
I'm your death. Swift and subtle. Like a blade in the dark. And this here is Pod. Hello.
Classic comedy
I
timing.
can see which of you two is the poet. Unfortunately, you're both short on common sense.
Me and Pod, we aren't so fond of Outlanders. Especially ones looking as strange as you. For all we know, you're one of those sick bastards. A plague carrier. A blight on our fair city.
Sick bastard. Maybe. Plague carrier, no. I don't want to use the... Even though I'm a noble scion, I don't want to use that. I don't want to say to them, how much will it cost? Let's see what it says.
We are a little light on coin.
Shut it, Pod. Let me do the talking.
You're doing great so far. Really menacing.
No one brings the plague into my town, Outlander. No one. At least you can die knowing it wasn't personal.
How can being killed by somebody not be personal? Anyway, I'm just going to attack. You can do this whole thing with Pod where you can tell him that he's small fry and he runs away, and hides back behind you in amongst the bushes and cries.
Ha! Let
Good. Mine now. One for you.
But I knew that that would be just too easy. We'll pay handsomely for information on the Endirian ambassador, their daily schedule, their preferred wine. Nothing is beneath our interest and everything has a price. Alright. Why did I not grab this before? Makes no sense.
Welcome to Paradise, Envoy. The ambassador's expecting you.
Well, thank you, I think.
The Clavager took good care of us. Always paid on time.
Orders from the embassy. Captain Sinric. The Western Gatehouse is closed until further notice. No one comes or go. Until your Clavager returns, I expect the Paradise Militia to answer to the Steel Garrote. Before you object, remember that your city is leaderless and undefended, and without leadership, a militia is nothing but a mob. I expect your compliance or your resignation. Inquisitor Ludwin. Alrighty. Liking that Inquisitor Ludwin lady less and less, the more I hear about her. The classic look around the city as you enter cutscene.
Envoy.
What's this? I already know this, don't worry, but yes. We get shot by an arrow. Is it a Stargate? Jack, is that you? Sam? Teal'c? Daniel? What's going on? Are you a Goa'uld? An ancient, maybe?
You should not be here. You should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here?
Something tells me I'm not in Kansas. I mean, the Living Lands anymore. Where am I?
A space within emptiness, where the gods live and the dead wait. A cage, a prison. We feel the souls of multitudes, a current beneath the skin of this place. We could dip our hand in once, feel them near us. But now, we are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive.
G'day, Zam. This is... about 4 or 5 hours in. I have played more than that of this. I've played about 50 hours in to the 3rd chapter of 4 or 5 chapters in the game. So yeah, it's not the very start, but it's not that far in. I mean, I'm level 5 at the moment. So yeah. Okay. Death comes to all mortals. It's all right. I wish I knew how.
Our beloved, they stole the bloom from your branch. I An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind.
Hopefully the next life is kinder to me and my killer, whoever they are.
They hurt you, but we do not hear rage hissing in you like a serpent. Why?
There's no point in hanging on to anger. All I can do is move on.
Soften. Quiet. You would accept the winter before spring, but you do not understand. Your soul is imprisoned here, as are we. But we can help you. We could send you back. Just this once.
What about you? There must be a way we can get you out too.
You think of us, with your own escape so near. We are moved and decided. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison.
Whoever you are, thank you.
You are ours. We tend to the sprout on the bough. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands.
It's going to take more than a little murder to keep me down.
You're alive. Somehow. That's what counts.
Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill.
The voice brought me back, I'm sure of it.
I don't suppose this would be the same one you heard earlier?
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died.
Now, I think this Constitution thing is kind of stupid because that's a massive lie. Even if you have spent years building an immunity to poison, it was that being that brought you back. I know, it's amazing.
Don't get too excited. When you play with life and death, there are bound to be consequences.
What does this mean for him? Should he expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible.
I already had a vision. Someone was asking me, I was asking for my help.
Sounds like the echo of a past life. I wish I could tell you more. This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul.
And again, I don't want to use that noble scion thing. Because I don't think they're a fool. It's interesting because I mentioned in the last stream that I saw a video, somebody had their reaction video. They played 20 hours of this game, and they said they couldn't play it anymore because you can't play as an evil character. That wasn't the exact way they put it, but You know, you can't walk around town and just kill whoever you want. The game won't let you. And I've thought about it a bit since then, and it's like, well, of course the game won't let you. First of all, you couldn't do that in the original Pillars of Eternity games. You couldn't just attack and kill everybody. But also, secondly, you have been like the intro of the game is you being given a mission from the Emperor of Adir to come to the Living Lands, to come here and solve this problem for him. So your mission is not to just kill everyone and everything. But what I will say is there are a number of times where you do get some conversation options. Like when I was talking to that being before when I was dead, there were some of the options that I could have chosen that were a little bit confrontational, that were a little bit adversarial, that was basically saying, not who are you, but why are you doing this to me? Why should I help you? And there's even times when it looks like you can flat out just say no to some things. And I sort of want to do a playthrough where I explore what happens when you do that, because I actually like this fact about the game, that there isn't, like, it's not ramming down, it's not trying to ram relationships down your throat. And by relationships, I mean romantic relationships. Like a lot of games do these days, or not just these days. I mean, the games that I've played recently that had a lot of this, you know, I'm talking Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age 3. There's even, you know, a fair amount of that in The Witcher 3, which I've played recently. Of course, Baldur's Gate 3. You know, you play a lot of those games, and every interaction with your companions, it's trying to ram down your throat that, you know, are you going to have a relationship with this one? And in fact, Dragon Age Origin almost forces you to do that at one point near the very end. And I just find it really weird. I find it enjoyable that this game isn't doing that. It's not trying to be like a dating sim for some weird reason that all these games want to be these days. But it's also not giving you a huge amount of freedom in what you're doing. It's not letting you be a complete evil character. And I like that because it goes very much against my nature to want to do that. I don't like doing that in games, but every game around these days seems to have that option, and people play games and go, oh, I can't be evil in this game. I don't want to play it. And I'm sort of, I don't understand how people can be like that, can pick up a game and the first thing they want to do. Like, I see so many games on Steam that I just go ignore, because it's all of these crime simulators and all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't find that enjoyable. And I know people can say that it's just role-playing, but that's just not me, right? I want to be the hero in these games. I don't want to be the villain. I don't find any enjoyment in that. And that's why I think that there is a small subgenre of games which isn't just like fantasy, it's heroic fantasy. And that's what this game is. This game is heroic fantasy, because I don't think there's really a path that you can go down in this game where you basically say, no, I'm not going to do this. Like back at the previous, at the end of the previous episode, we finished I think it's the Strangle Route or whatever it's called, where you commune with you kill that big bear, you find the Clavager dead, you find the ambassador, you kill the bear, and then you interact with the address stone, and you have another vision with the voice before you get killed, before we just got killed. So you have that vision, right at the end of that, there is one option where you can say no, but I don't know what happens when you do it. I don't know if that being then somehow convinces you, gives you another chance to change your mind, and then the only chance is to say yes. But I sort of want to do a playthrough at one point where I find out what happens if this being that's here that is communing with you, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I do know a little bit about what's going on, but I don't know what happens if you say no to that being and say, look, I'm not interested in helping you. I'm just here because you are just here to get rid of the dream scourge. Having said that, it gets very obvious very quickly that whatever that being is being, like, if you destroy the dream scourge, you're going to free that being, right? That is what is going on. The dream scourge is what is imprisoning that being. So I'm interested in how they've built the game around that and how they're going to handle that. So I may, whether I do it online or offline, but I may at some point experiment with that. But it's going to be really hard because I don't like choosing those options. I don't like choosing the option that says, no, I'm not going to help. No, I don't care what your problem is. Because, like, there's so many missions here that you could just not do. You could just say, I'm not going to go and do all these bounties. I'm not going to go and do this, do that, do the other thing. Yeah. Anyway. A watcher.
One who sees into the spirit realm, speaks to the dead, and knows the past through their eyes. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job.
Okay, I'll find your watcher. Just point me in the right direction.
Rooney's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you.
Thank you.
Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy.
I'll report to the ambassador right away.
I suppose following the chain of command will soothe his worries. Either way, I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up.
I appreciate the help, Kai.
Don't mention it. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone.
And that
we should talk back again.
That certainly
help me understand what just happened to you.
Yeah, that certainly feels weird when he says, your murder. Like, everyone's talking about your murder, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because you're still alive. And there's a message there. He had a dream about me. Oh, that's right, there's a potion here.
In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside. You weren't alone either. There were others. Some of them loved you, others were afraid of you, but they all followed you. Also, there was a tree that... It wasn't a tree? Oh, it made sense at the time. I can't remember anymore. It's a pity dreams aren't made to last. If you need something for the pain, there's an apothecary by the bathhouse. Stay safe. You don't want to end up back here again. I'll pull through. Liviana's taking good care of me. Got in a fight with the Adherent guards. I started it, they finished it.
I've never actually gone through all of this. I've normally just clicked once, maybe twice on him.
Liviana didn't think you'd make it, but she never gave up on you. I'll pull through. Liviana's taking good care of me.
Okay, so it finally got around to repeating itself. That was interesting. I had never talked to him before, so I hadn't seen all of those options that he said. All right. That's what I was hearing. That lockbox. Alrighty.
Envoy, could I speak with you for a moment? So, you're that godlike, the Adiran envoy. You're the one who saves the ambassador from the Strangleroot, right?
Right. Yep, that was me.
Interesting. Say, would you be up for helping out some down on their luck Adirans who can't catch a break?
I can try.
Galarde. Lawfled and Gladwine came here about 8 years ago, long before the recent rush of Adirans. They admitted to having a checkered past back home, but they started a new life in Paradis. Back then, you'd struggle to find an Adiran in the city. Now they're everywhere.
Let her continue.
Anyway, with all these Adirans coming in, Lawfled and Gladwine started spotting old faces. And if they were spotting old faces, it was only a matter of time before those faces started spotting them back. They're lying low in the shantytown for now, but they mean to leave for Thirdborn.
Adherents in the shantytown. I doubt they're getting a warm welcome. Most of the people there are Paradisans run out by Adir.
They're afraid to go out in public, and Gladwine, poor soul, he's gone blind from bad drink.
I'm not a healer.
You don't need to be. There are herbs in the wilds around Paradis that can restore Gladwine's sight. It's a little too dangerous for us ordinary folks, but for the Adiran envoy, for the hero who braved the Strangleroot, I'm sure it will be no problem.
Ending with flattery is a nice touch.
Agrasima.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Many thanks, envoy. Oh, there is one more thing they need. Land deeds. They've already paid for them. There's a Rawatayan in the Pearl District, Mako, who was handling the paperwork.
Why hasn't he?
I don't know. That's the problem. Mako and I had a falling out a while back. It's best if someone else goes.
Alright, I'll talk to him too.
Thank you, envoy. God bless you.
Do. Where is it? There. It's there. Right.
You died.
G'day, Garrick.
You've got some god looking out for you.
Yeah, probably. Alright. Can't go through that way. Don't know why. That's odd. There's normally a servant standing around here somewhere, but not at the moment.
Envoy, is it really you?
No, it's just a player pretending to be you, to be him. Alright.
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
Like I've come back from the dead?
And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Did the Emperor send you with anything for me? Your writ of commission, perhaps?
1 second. Gotta work out what I can do to block this idiot. I can't seem to. I've got to do it from here. Hang on. Block. There we go. As His Majesty's wills it, let it be done.
Executed faithfully, Envoy. Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Alderan Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands.
I don't know why this option is there either. Like, slip a few coins from his purse while he talks? Why do I want to steal something from him? The Emperor... yeah, the Emperor sent me to investigate the Dream Scourge is the answer that I definitely want. The
I
response.
can't think of anyone more suited for the job. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
Excuse me. Emergency mute. Trouble has a way of finding me no matter how consequential I become.
That you are. And not just on account of your noble heritage. This embassy has no shortage of political foes. But the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
I'll get to the bottom of the Dream Scourge, Ambassador, whatever it takes.
Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
Tell me about the rebels. Who are they?
They were paradisans once, law-abiding laborers. Now, they're fugitives and oath-breakers hiding amongst the populace. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
Killing me was bold, I'll give them that.
Indeed. The killer sent a message, but this is our chance to send one in return. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisan rebels must face justice.
The Dream Scourge is my top priority.
True, but you can't investigate the Dream Scourge if you're dead.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise.
I'll consider him, thanks for the recommendation.
I can tell you're skeptical, but remember that you're an outsider here, and a lot of Kith aren't exactly thrilled to see so many Adherents in their midst.
New weeds, a new beast in the tall grass. Predator or mate?
As you've seen firsthand. You could use some local help, especially if we really are after Paradisans.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another.
Liviana suggested I visit a watcher.
An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Hi, I need you by my side. Can I count on you?
Tracking down mysterious assassins with a godlike who returned from death, all while the rumored dream scourge spreads. Can't say I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
And we are going to do exactly that, purely because my first instinct is to start exploring around this area. But right up there is where the assassins stood when we got attacked. And if I start exploring this area, I'm going to find that spot and then going to have to go and get Marius and come back to that spot. So we might as well get Marius first. We will talk to this guy and get his quest, though.
Wow, it's really you. I mean, we all heard the Emperor sent a godlike, but I didn't never think I'd get to meet you. You are the Envoy, aren't you? I bow, but I think I dislocated my shoulder, and I might have broken some ribs.
You look like a bear tried to have you for lunch. What happened?
My brother Cadman and I ran into some trouble exploring a temple north of the city. Bears and traps and guards. What else? The floor collapsed from under us. He couldn't walk too well, and yet our captain wanted to keep going, so he sent me back for help. We're with a team from the Free Expedition Corps. We've seen a lot. No place like this. I fear for their lives, Envoy.
I mean, I could go and ask about the Expedition Corps, although I think you can probably find... Oh, you can't. Why not? I'll go after them.
Gods,
Yeah.
do you mean it? I can't thank you enough.
I
We
think...
descended into the temple through a route off the Pilgrim's Path, just north of the city. You'll know you're headed the right way when you see trail markers and rock stacks the Pilgrims left behind. We posted a guard out front, Sedgwin. Let her know I sent you, and she'll let you pass.
I think they're like a adventuring company sort of thing, like a guild of adventurers that do things. I don't know. Okay.
Cadman's not gonna believe his eyes when he sees you. You'll probably find the expedition with the relic we were searching for. Whatever that is. Thank you for hearing me out, Envoy.
Alright, let's go get Marius. So we can go back this way. We do have to come over to here. Oh, I forgot. There's something over here, isn't there? No, there isn't. That's right, it was probably just that dagger I was thinking of.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the Grinning Balrog.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Nothing to see here, Envoy. The situation's under control.
As you were then.
Go with the gods.
So... No, nothing there. Any interest?
Don't go starting trouble.
So this... It's sort of... This building sort of extends all the way around. So that's an entrance there to the Grinning Balrog. This is an entrance here. Thought there was another one somewhere. There's a back alley you can get to. I don't remember where it is now. Oh, there. That's the back alley there from the Grinning Ballarok. Get through there, though. Nothing there. So that's the back door just there. Nothing.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Dawnshore?
Just Dawnshore? Phew, must be slipping.
You just look like a drunken dwarf to me. Seen 1,000 of you roaming back home in Adir.
Thought there was more stuff on the tables, but obviously not. Alright.
Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of Makul. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
Interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be, hiding behind stone walls all your life?
You don't know anything about me, you Adiran Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Duktetragu sakasaptjitule. You want to talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
I didn't realize that all of those words that he's using are actually translated here. So Amakul is a casual friend. Nimdut is an idiot or jackass. Yeah, I figured that. Blessed a damned. Yeah. Kute Dragu, vulgar phrase used to angrily dismiss someone or tell them to go away. And then Saka shit or stuff, used in anger similar to bastard. Okay. Your friend looks like he has this well under control.
I think this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramps should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
I think I like this guy.
Wait until you get to know him.
Oh, I could feel it. Gods, you.
Oh, that is quick. You better get to a healer before the poison spreads to your brain.
You wait, Marius. I'll be back. Hopefully.
And that's the back alley out there that we were in a minute ago, where we blew that hole open to get to the chest. And he goes out here now to throw up. I forgot some spoiled veggies out here. All right, let's talk to Marius. I love the way the lighting, you come from outside and you walk inside and everything is dark, and then it slowly brightens up again as you get used to the change in light. I love the way they've done that in this game. I didn't realize there was stuff in here. I only just saw it. That last one is very hard to pick up. There we go. I didn't think you could get back here, so I never tried to. Oh, you could just walk straight through there. All right, Marius.
Well, that was something.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person.
I'm gonna do. Tell me you were bluffing about poisoning the man.
Wasn't a bluff. That was a test. Any hunter worth their salt knows Widow's Kiss has no effect if it's ingested. And he actually believed I could pay the bartender to poison someone's drink. Gods, the taverns in Adir must be rough.
Or Adirans are just idiots. Well played. They certainly won't mess with you again.
Right. That's the goal. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you.
Exactly. Do you know how we can find them?
I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them.
Almost as if you know how the game is built. Strange. I already know that the killer is from Paradise.
Then they wouldn't need much of a reason to go after an Adiran official. Plenty of stale water there. Still, it's dangerous to make assumptions based on stereotypes. We need more of a trail to go on. We'll figure this out at Makul. Don't you worry.
All right. So, let's give him his ability. Now, as I said in the previous episode, Second Wind is a really good ability for Kai. It's a passive, which is great, but it also, revives him in combat, which is super, super useful. But Kai already had 1 point in Fire and Ice. And we gave him we gave him 2 points in that, actually. Marius already has 1 point in Binding Roots. Now, Binding Roots is the ability that we currently have a couple of points in, so not sure if that's going to be the best option for him. Although, strangely, his has different extra effects. Stun, multiple enemies, or bleed. Whereas my Binding Roots only has poison as an extra ability and then extra duration. So that is interesting. I don't know. I don't know that Heartseeker is all that useful. I mean, I'm sure it is, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's super, super powerful. I have used Shadow Step with him before. But here's the thing. Kai seems to have an ability that is almost like that. And I don't even know whether it's just that the game hasn't been keeping up with what's going on or whatever. But I have seen times when Kai will go from one spot and just almost teleport to another and when he's shooting. And it's just like, is that just a glitch in the Matrix or what's going on? So, this Shadow Step ability feels a lot like that. It almost feels like the companions already have this ability. It's just because the game is screwing up on you. mean, it can do a lot of power when he does it. And then wounding shots. I don't feel like the wounding shots is all that great. Although it does mean every single attack that he does is going to add bleed by default. And then also, you know, reduce their damage reduction or slow them or reduce the amount of damage that they can do. So, I mean, these are good abilities, but I don't know. I don't feel like I need him to have any more ability with the vines, the binding roots. I think we're good with that. And we have 2 points to add here, so we can add 2 points to any, or we can add 1 to a couple. I feel like with Kai, I feel like that one, Second Wind, is really the only thing that you gotta have, and so I max it out as early as I can. This one's nice too, but I feel like Second Wind is the better option. But having said that, Second Wind is only when he gets down to 0, whereas this Unbending Defense, you know, when he activates it, he regenerates health and increases his damage reduction, and, you know, to varying degrees. So that is a pretty useful thing. Anyway, I think we're going to go with... Let's go with wounding shots this time for Marius, just to be a little bit different. And let's go for slow as the second ability. I like passives like that. Okay, good. We do have some stuff to break down. What did I not? Oh, no. This one. And that one. A little disappointed to see that they didn't really do anything to get rid of all of this alerting junk in the update. I would have liked to have seen that. Do you have any lockpicks?
No.
You do. Great. Give me all of those, please. The rest of it I don't care. I mean, I can afford to buy a fine pistol, but I'm not going to. No, we want to go out this way. Ooh, I was going to say I don't think there's a hell of a lot of stuff here that we want, but there is actually a spear right there. Need it, though. We can grab it. There are times like this when it doesn't make sense that I can't get up there. Got that. I feel like there was something else around here.
You there? Are you just going to stand there?
You, what are you doing? This is a crime scene. That's evidence.
Yeah.
Stay out.
Alright, so...
Right. My mistake.
Right. I cannot remember where it is along here, but I tend to just swim all the way along here, getting my breath back as needed, because there is stuff to pick up. There is little bits of loot all over the place. Not all over the place, but there are several places where there are little bits of loot that you can get. Including that bag there, which you can only get from down here. And you've got to just find the right spot. Oh, where was it? There. Oh, it was around this side. Band of Transcendent Suffering. This is actually a callback to Pillars of Eternity, because this is based on the monk class that was in Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2. This is sort of making you into a monk. Not really, because the monks had special abilities which basically, as they got hurt, as they took damage, it increased a damage counter, and they could use those damage counters to empower their abilities. So this is giving you more melee damage so that when you punch, you do more damage, but at the same time, it reduces your damage reduction by a full 100%. So you basically take more than normal damage. So you'd be mad to use that ring. It's really just, you should sell it. I don't remember if there's anything... No, this is just a way out. We're not going to worry about that. Don't think there's anything around there. No. Okay, so this is the other end of the waterways. We do want to explore along here a little bit. So this is an interesting one because you have to shoot this so that you can climb up onto here. So that you can then jump over to this, so you can get this one. And then it's easier just to jump back into the water and swim back to the other ladder and get out. This is actually reasonably close to the embassy. That's the embassy just over there, in fact. So...
Now, why would I want to leave a mark right by that pile of crates?
Did sort of want to come over here to pick up this. Bunch of spiders here.
You, wouldn't think behind the embassy spiders, but here you go.
Just like the good old days.
Okay. First of all, let's come over here. And do this, please. Right.
Coming in hot. I don't think the new owners like company.
Because there is a bunch of spiders in here. So that's one there.
Show me what you got.
One over there. One there. Two over here, actually. One there. And then there's that one there. Alright. One shot each. That's good. And this is a back exit out of town, but it's barred, so you can't come in this way. It's what stops you from coming into the city before you've rescued the ambassador and the claviger. Now it's a quick way in and out if you're around that area. Nothing here. Thought there was more stuff here. I guess it's all just through here, is it? Yes, it is. It's getting to be night time again. Right, so then to get up to where we want to go, this way. It's a bit of a waste. Grab that. No, I thought there might have been something in there, but I couldn't remember. Right. Right. Empty flask of poison, but it reeks of swamp water and rancid berries.
Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beasts out of your garden. The apothecary might know more. That's where I'd look.
Seems like a good place to start.
I'm going to be right back. Hang on a second. No. That one. All right. Hang on, something's happened to my setup here. Okay. Sure, we'll pay the apothecary a visit.
Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We could track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
All right. Blackwing gloves. There is actually a full set of Blackwing gear. We're gonna... No, we're not gonna wear it. We'll sell it. I was gonna say we'll wear it for now, but... No, I don't think we will. What we're going to do... Let's go back to camp. Both Kai and Marius want to talk to us. And then we got to see about upgrading any gear, making any food, etc., etc. Usual camp stuff. Let's break this down. These down. As I said, I wish we could break that stuff down, but we cannot. Alright. Let's cook our food first, I think. Mariner's porridge. Do I really want any more? What have I got in the way of gear at the moment? Food, I mean. 21 health potions, 17 essence potions. We've got a lot of food here. I don't actually feel like we need to cook anymore right now. I think we're really quite good.
By the
Excuse
way,
me.
I never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin?
So I said I was going to upgrade the pistol. Okay, so we now have a fine pistol. That is good. It is very nice. And we won't bother upgrading anything else just yet. So you'll notice there's a slight color difference.
With the thing on her head.
More reddish, purplish on the right hand, which is the fine pistol, compared to just the normal on the other one.
I never seen her before
Alright.
in my life.
We could see her again if you want.
Let's talk to Kai.
Listen, this is something I never thought I'd have to ask, but can we talk about you coming back from the dead?
You were remarkably calm at Liviana's. What happened to that poise?
What, that? I'm just real good at dealing with my emotions. You see, I bottle them up for a while, and then I let them out all at once.
But don't dodge the issue. We're talking about your abbreviated death. By the time I got you to Liviana's, I don't think you had a pulse. You certainly weren't breathing.
You must have spent 20 minutes as a corpse on one of her cots before you just came back.
What did you see while you were gone? What do you remember?
From the beginning, I left my body. My soul was pulled towards Adra.
Watchers say souls can linger between this world and the beyond for a time. I've seen Runid talk to them a few times, almost in a trance. What happened next?
My soul traveled through the beyond. A part of it anyway.
The beyond. That's the realm of the gods, of souls.
It was beautiful, full of otherworldly light and sound, a place of pure essence.
Well, that Sounds kinda nice. What did you see there?
I finally encountered someone in the beyond.
Wait. Someone? Who was it? Or what was it?
It's the same voice I heard in the strangle room.
Well, that's good. Imagine how much worse this would be if you had two cryptic entities clamoring for your attention. So, someone is reaching out to you from the beyond. They saved you from death, and now they want you to free them from wherever they are. Do you trust them?
I made this gesture a moment ago when he talked about two different entities. I haven't played all the way through this. I do not know. I haven't done any spoilers or anything like that. But there are a couple of times, and I don't know whether this is just not the best writing from the developers, or whether it is real and intentional. But there are some times when you are being talked to, and I'll try and point them out later on. There are some times when you're being talked to by this entity where it feels like it's not the same entity. It feels like it is something slightly different, and that there might be two entities that are actually talking to you that essentially sound very similar but are not. And I don't know if that's the case or not. I don't want to spoil it. If there is something like that and you're in the, don't put anything in the comments that spoils it for anybody, including myself. But when I have played this, and as I said, I've got a fair way through, I have just felt a couple of times when there have been these interactions that I felt like that doesn't feel like it's the same entity that was talking to me earlier, that saved my life, that, you know, did this and that. It feels slightly differently. And don't get me wrong, there is another part where you do actually hear a couple of the gods talking, and it actually identifies them as being those gods. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't beat around the bush. It actually names them in the thing. It says this, puts a name against them in the text, like you see here with Kai. Do you trust them? So you know that it's you're listening to something being said by a couple of the gods. But when these other entities are talking, this other entity is talking to you, there are a couple of times, and it's a separate incident. It's not like 1 second it's talking and you go, that's fine, and then the next second it's talking and you go, that sounds like someone else. It's this whole section that, you know, for whatever reason, this entity is talking to me right now, and it doesn't seem quite the same. The voice, yeah, it might be the same. It's hard to tell if there's any real difference, but it's just something about it. The context of what is being said and everything just doesn't quite fit right. And I think, yeah, it could be some weird writing by the developers. It could even just be that the text that's being used is just a little bit out of context. It's like slotted into the game at just the wrong point, or if you followed the game down a certain path, the what's being said wouldn't seem so a little bit incongruous. It would seem a little bit more integrated. I don't know, but yeah. Do you trust them? I think so. They don't seem malice. They seem as confused as I feel.
I guess that's some comfort. Well, even in the land of the strange, you have had the strangest experience I've ever heard of, and you haven't even left Dawn Shore. That's quite a feat.
Thanks. Why was there two options for thanks there?
So, this whole time you were in the beyond, and then you were just sent back.
Yep.
Did you see a way, did you get the sense, do you think there's a way to bring people back from the dead?
Interesting, you don't get an option. Like, me personally, my question would be, why? Is there someone you want to bring back from the dead, Kai? That would be my question. But you don't get that question. You might get it later. I don't know. I don't really understand what happened to me, but I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. Still, thanks for humoring me. You must be tired. I know I am. Hopefully that Watcher Runid will have some answers for us. For now, let's get some rest.
So, look, I'm making a big assumption here, and again, don't spoil it for anyone if you're in the comments, but I'm assuming that there is somebody that I would have liked brought back. The biggest thing I'll say here is, you know, if I was doing this conversation with Kai for real, yeah, right, whatever, but you know what I mean. The biggest thing would be if they've just died. Yes, it's obvious that there is a way that they can be brought back if it's within a certain amount of time. But you've been with me for several game days at this point, and I haven't seen anybody that you know die except for me. So no, I'm going to say that they would have died too. Because here's the thing, right? The whole concept in this game, in this universe that this game is built around, is that Aora, this world, and the gods around it have this thing called the wheel, where every soul, after they die, they go back onto the wheel and they live more lives. And you can read a lot about it. There's stuff, yeah, like the Beyond refers to the realm of the gods and the destination of departed souls who tarry for a time while they await reincarnation into new lives. So everybody gets reincarnated, and it's not 100% clear how long you wait before you are reincarnated, but I don't think it's like years. However, there is something that's hinting that there is something going on in the living lands, and that's sort of all I want to say about that at this time. In Pillars of Eternity 1, there was also something similar going on where souls were being stolen after they died. So it looks like it's never a certain thing that you immediately get back onto the wheel and get reincarnated. I don't know. Look, there's a whole bunch of questions that you can ask here, but I don't care about them all, so we're just going to say goodnight to Kai, and we're going to go and talk to Marius.
No offense, but you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy.
Have you been tracking me?
More following from a respectful distance, I'd say. An Adiran official who's new in town turns a lot of heads, especially when they're traveling with a Nim dude like Kai.
I said you knew each other from before.
Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. I'm here to find your assassins. Maybe help you avoid being killed again in the future. My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is.
Well, you're welcome to join us.
Merci, Envoy. I'll make myself at home. Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you have things to do. Anyway.
And again, there's lots of stuff you could ask him here, but it doesn't. It's nothing to do with the game. It's just with the mission. It's all just, yeah.
You might want to consider not.
So we already did that.
Clothes and safflower oil.
I hate to break it to you, but regular laundry is a common courtesy when you're traveling with a group.
I almost want to just stay and listen to this banter between these two because it is quite good, but we'll move on. We'll go back to our previous location. How long? A couple of hours. Rather than trying to climb back... Oh, no, we will climb back down. I wasn't going to, but... If I climb back down, I can get this. And then... We already did that way.
They're places elsewhere on this island that would kill for those supplies. Literally.
Okay. There's not a huge amount of...
This is where the guards decide if your stuff is worthy of being in paradise. The answer I've found is no.
There's not a huge amount of stuff to loot around here, if I remember rightly. We can see this spot here. I will mention this was where we got shot. Maybe, if he decides to come over. And then there's...
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make sure that wouldn't be found.
I didn't go to that much trouble because it was pretty damn obvious there was something there. Alright, the occult hand, I think, is actually a fairly decent... Well, it's an okay-ish set of gloves to use if you're... You know, if you're going for a mage build, I mean, they can be used on anything. So if we wore them now, we'd be doing an extra shock damage. We might as well, actually. So that means each of our shots will do a little bit of shock damage.
Envoy, got a situation over here. Oh, good. You came over. Glad to see you're up and about.
For fuck's sake, can we move this along? I don't have all day.
We can talk later. What are we dealing with?
The same thing we deal with every day. Most of us are off searching for the ones who attacked you. That leaves us short-handed, so people like her try to sneak in. I caught this one, but I have to check her cart for contraband. There's a lot to dig through.
No, there isn't. I can lend an extra hand. Yeah, there's a couple of grenades stuck in here. There's one there. And there's one there. I've not actually left them in there and talked to her, but anyway.
Find anything?
Yes, you can lie. I've done it before. It doesn't... There's no consequences.
I knew you were hiding something. You'd better have an ironclad explanation for this.
I don't know anything. Someone's trying to set me up.
Thanks for the help, Envoy. I think I can handle it from here.
I mean, all it is a way to give you 2 extra grenades. That's kind of it. It's weird, but that's what that interaction amounts to. Okay, there's nothing in there. There's nothing over here. Don't really feel like there's anything else all of that useful up there. Or back there. So we'll leave it alone. Well, hang on. There was an icon. No, it's the other side of the wall. Alright. Through there somewhere. What is... I have never tried to go through here. Kind of stuck at the moment. There we go.
Any...
No, you don't have anything I want to buy. Oh, hang on. Do I have stuff I wanted to sell?
Envoy, what can I do?
I don't know. Like I said, there feels like there's some of this stuff that I could just sell, but none of it makes a lot of money either. It's all pretty well worthless. Oh, yeah. I don't want that. And I don't want that or that. Right. Oh, it was her all along. I hate the map in this game. That is the only thing I'm going to say about it. It's always pointing you to things that don't make any sense or that you've seen before. Alright, let's come through here.
Yeah, so close. But what's the point? Oh, you're a special one, you are. I thought all the godlikes were taken back, wherever they came from. Don't mean a thing by it. I'm glad to see not all the gods have abandoned us.
You're being awful familiar considering we haven't met.
Of course, of course. Just making small talk. Not trying to offend your adherent sensibilities. My apologies. I am an alchemist, trying, in the feeling, to save lives. May have inhaled a few too many fumes, eh?
I assume this is where you ask for my help.
Very kind of you to ask. Very kind. You're the first to offer to help me in, well, ever. Sapiento di Falva, alchemist and dreamer, at your service. My latest experiment was meant to solve the scourge that has come over the local flora and the fauna, but it wasn't meant to be. I expected my main reagent to be delivered today, but I suppose the gods had other ideas.
Do I want to know what your main reagent is?
Oh, just a bit of luminous adra. Rather valuable, but nothing against the law. You may have noticed, or perhaps not, since no doubt you've been busy, that wildlife here has gone a bit wrong. No one knows how best to describe it, but we can all see it. Something is distorting the life around here, and I hoped to stop it.
And you feel you have the answer?
Possibly, yes. But now I can't begin my tests without my main reagent. All I need is a luminous adra. But you see the problem? It's extremely rare. I'll likely never have another chance to get it. More precisely, it is adra infused with the soul energy. And it's only found in the Deadfire Archipelago, which should explain its value. The gentlemen who are supposed to acquire my adra have not delivered it, and they seem to be avoiding me, as if they fear my wrath.
Maybe there's something we can do to help.
At this point, I'll take any help I can get. My friends must have lied, or they got the adra and they lost it. I can't imagine why else they would be acting so strange about it.
The adra was likely stolen from the Valiant Trading Company. If that's true, your friends are as good as dead.
No. I certainly didn't want anyone to steal anything. I definitely never meant to get anyone in trouble. If anything I did led to those people getting hurt, I'd have a hard time getting past it.
If they're as desperate as it sounds, things might get a little dangerous.
I don't wish them ill, but I really need that Adra. Any luminous Adra will do, he said, as if the stuff were falling from the sky.
All right.
Step right up. I can tell you need more fire in your life. Or maybe more essence. Please buy something. I'm trying to prove a point.
And that point is?
My sister, the blacksmith, she doesn't think this will work out. I say she's wrong. Why keep a dagger under your pillow when you can use a ward stone instead?
Spells can fail. A sturdy weapon will never let you down.
You're no fun.
Let's see what you've got. The only thing that she's going to have that I would want, well, I mean, apart from these upgrade materials, the Paradisen ladder, I will take all of that because that can be upgraded to update my gear. And that's really it. I don't feel like there's anything else. No. Nothing that I want to sell and nothing that she has got that I want to buy. Now, it's a little disappointing, but this entire inner market area here has absolutely nothing to loot or to buy. Same with this area out here. Although I think there is a... No, it's in a different area. I was going to say, I think there's a... like a troop of actors, and there was some stuff you could loot from one of them, but I think that's in a different... over that way somewhere. So no. It's a little disappointing, but that's the way it is. Let's talk to the blacksmith, who is her sister.
You there. You look like you know your way around... hello. I heard what happened. I see why you'd want to protect yourself.
There's merchants at the dock who sell weapons and armor just like yours.
Probably because I made them. Or most of them, anyway.
You aren't worried about him undercutting you?
I've already been paid for them. If Walter happens to stumble onto them later, what can I do?
Do you have any specialty pieces?
You mean enchanted? No. A shield does its job just fine. It doesn't need to be tinkered with. Talk to my sister if you're interested in that kind of thing. She's over there. At least I don't think she's blown herself up yet.
I've met her. She's very
I
enthusiastic.
don't know where she gets it. I'd swear she was adopted if we didn't look alike. 3 generations of hammering. And then she comes along. Guess souls are strange like that.
Alright. You have some Ardra, which is an upgrade material, so let's buy those. We can't afford it. It's almost tempting to buy the fine breastplate, but we only have to upgrade that one a little bit more. Let's buy all of this upgrade gear. Don't need any of that. We don't need any of that. And we don't need any of that. So I think we're pretty good. Alright.
Envoy. Are you looking for work by chance? A pleasure, Envoy. I'm Aldrich, the bounty master of Paradise. If it suits your fancy, check the board for work. The dangerous kind. Some more than others. Speak to me when you've got something to turn in.
Alright.
Be safe out there. You hear?
Now he does describe each one of these when you pick them up, but I'm just going to get through them quickly. Alright. Oh, that's the actors just there.
You can hear actors' souls dying as people just keep on walking.
So... That's the only thing I wanted to get from there. This leads to the back way.
There has to be a logical explanation, sir. That's the ring.
the back way to the alchemist, but I think, well, the apothecary, but I think we'll go that way. The way we want to go. So that's where we came up from the slum area and the tavern and stuff. This is actually...
any formal instruction, they'd get it here.
Yeah, this is the militia barracks.
You're a damn good shot, you know that?
Oh, I'm well aware. But thank you. It's very sweet.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
You really want to know the answer to that question?
No. It's kind of nice when the city was still locked down.
Excuse me? What in the God's name are you talking about?
Think about it. Nobody coming in and out. No smugglers to look out for. No more deerings coming into the city.
Yeah, actually.
Right.
You're free to pass through the gate now.
That's the way out of the city. We don't need to go that way at the moment. Just checking we are at full health and full essence, so that is good.
Well, look who graced us. This is the Sparrowhawks district. State your business.
You're the one loitering. How about you state your business?
Go on. But remember, Thala's got his eye on you. I wouldn't get on an ogre's bad side.
Really? Well, we'll see what happens with that. He is actually one of the... No, he's not. I thought he was one of the... One of the bounties, but he's not. Okay, this is some sort of temple or shrine.
Let's leave them alone. They look worried for someone.
That's all that there is to loot there. Except for this here. The pistol. Don't need it. Go.
Smile and be yourself. Or maybe...
Best watch your step around here, envoy. This is my district.
Yeah, whatever you say, mate.
Let us in, sweetheart.
I told you we're closed.
This is not the way I ever expected.
At least then Treyborg thought.
What's the matter? Has he done something?
He bores me to death. That's
You're
all.
the talk of the town, envoy. Everyone wants to meet you.
People always want to meet me. They always want something from me, too.
You and I have that in common. A good friend is hard to find.
This bathhouse looks divine. That's Sparento furniture, isn't it?
It is. It cost me a small fortune to bring it in. Though I'm afraid only a few of our wealthy patrons have noticed it.
And do you get many wealthy patrons?
Me? Exclusively. Now, if you've come to avail yourself, I'm sorry. We're closed. I'm out of some supplies that should have been here days ago. I'd hunt them down myself, but I don't have a firm enough hand. I need someone with more authority. Someone, well, someone like you.
That's a coincidence. I found a shipment at the docks. Is this yours?
It is. I never thought I'd be so glad to see one of these things. You're lucky you're honest. Otherwise, I'd scold you for those sticky hands.
Good doing business with you.
Believe me, the pleasure is all mine. It's nice to have found at least one Adiran I can rely on.
Come back anytime for a hot bath or a cup of tea. My door is always open.
Now, I sort of
I'll remember that often. You know.
caught myself a moment ago because I remembered that we really want to go back out and come back in. Hang on. Let's just fast travel to here because there is someone over here that we could complete a quest for. At least I think she's over here. Yeah, there she is.
Walk in, give her the letter. You don't have to say anything. The letter will do the talking for you.
You seem nervous. Is something wrong?
Sort of. Maybe you can help. I was seeing this girl, Nasha, down at the bathhouse. I'm sure it was just business at first, but we fell in love. I haven't been in a while, though. And the thing is, I've met someone else.
All you can do is let her down gently.
I know. It's the least she deserves. I wrote her a letter, but I'm too cowardly to deliver it. If you're headed that way, would you mind giving it to her?
Of course. Yeah.
Thank you. I used to wonder why no one talked about this. Now I understand. Nasha should be working right now. The place is called the Mermaid's Den. It's the big one with the balcony and the round window.
Alright. Let's go back to here.
I can't stop worrying about the dream snatch. What if it happens to us?
Ignore that.
Where is she?
What if it's not? What do we do?
There she is.
Are you here to see Juliana? Or can I help you with something else?
A woman named Belia wanted me to give you this letter.
Belia? But she hasn't come by in a couple of months. Did something? Oh, I understand. Of course, it all makes sense now. That poor girl. She thinks everything that goes wrong is her fault. I'm glad she's found someone.
Bella was terrified she'd break your heart.
I see why. She was head over heels. I liked her well enough, but I'm not sure I could give as much as she wanted me to. Thank you for bringing that letter, though. I was worried about her. I'll send one back. That should make her feel better.
She doesn't give you
Hey, I thought we were just getting...
the letter to send back, though, so...
We've been over this.
I think there's a couple of things that you can pick up in here, but nothing... Nothing major. Yeah, no. No, there isn't anything in here. I forgot. That's right, it was just that thing to read. Alright, so... We are going to do a full save right here because this is the apothecary and this leads to quite a fight. So let's get ready.
There. That's the apothecary.
Huh. Aren't you the outlander who died in the streets? How are you... Gah, it doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today. Right?
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead man. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away.
This ends now.
Stand still, Outlander. This is gonna hurt.
Alright, so let's have a look. What have we got here that's going to give us some buffs? We don't need extra essence. We don't need to cure poison or bleed. +2 perception and +2 maximum essence. No, I don't think we need that. +2 constitution and +5 damage reduction. +5% damage reduction? Sure, why not? We've got plenty of it. We don't need that. Hardgren Ale, 20% maximum health. Sure, let's do that. Merc Brew? No, we don't need that. Magran's Blessing. I've got 3 of them and I've not been using them, so let's grab that. Intellect? No. Wild Mushroom Stew? Yeah, we'll take that. Do we have any water? No, we don't. Because pure water gives you a movement speed buff. Would be very nice.
There you are, swine. This time, you're gonna stay dead.
Just when I thought this would be too easy.
Stala, you really stepped in the soccer net.
Run.
I can't believe they're dead. It's over.
We got them all.
That went pretty well. I didn't actually get hit all that often. I think that... I'm quite happy with how that turned out. But that's not all of it. There's a lot to go. Let's talk to him first.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on these streets, and they are a symptom.
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk seems more like the cause to me.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You even killed Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you.
At least I have friends watching my back.
I thought the perk of killing the biggest guy in the gang was scaring the rest of them off.
Don't I know it? Good help is hard to come by. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts.
What do you know of this?
Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Santa Torre, a berry native to the Living Lands.
Marius Kai, what do you know about Saint Torre?
Just that it's supposed to act quickly, and that you shouldn't mess with it if you don't know what you're doing.
So don't, under any circumstances, mix it up with moonberries.
And before you ask, I can't tell you who bought the poison. If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the Adherents, it'd be the end of me.
The assassin is from Paradise, a local.
Damn, I was afraid of that. If you made an enemy of the locals, this won't be the last attempt on your life. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Sanatore is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies.
Sounds like I'm looking for a mystic.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go
We
past
could
the
do both.
Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra.
I appreciate the help.
Well, I suppose it's the least I could do, considering I got you killed. I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
Oh, we're going to talk again because I want to see what you got
Pleasure
to
is all
sell.
mine.
And there's more lockpicks, which is exactly what I wanted. I don't really need anything else there. I'll sell that. What was that? Slowly regenerate essence while close to a companion. No, we'll sell that. Let's break these down because we're not going to use them. So, get rid of that. Alright, there's a lot of stuff to search here. There's up around there, up over there and everything. But let's get... Actually... It was this first.
People come here to...
All my time in Paradise, and I never knew a painter lived here. I don't think we're going to be welcome here for long. All those sparrowhawks will be sniffing around here any minute. And since that's not the last skirmish we'll find ourselves in, I say we take this opportunity to stock up on some better equipment.
Where can I find
If
some?
you want a guarantee of getting the good stuff, I recommend Paradise's main market.
So that, I think, gives you a quest to get fine armor and a fine weapon. We've already got a fine weapon. And I'm not going to bother getting a fine armor. I'm just going to upgrade to it. So we are about to get attacked again. Let's get the guns out. This guy won't attack.
How can one concentrate with you running all about the place?
I'm looking for a crew of smugglers. Have you seen any?
I speak to a lot of people, whether I want to or not. Seek my good friend Gunneth down by the grinning Balrog. Or maybe old Edelgund, if you can distract her from her wandering. You'd like to be useful.
I only notice it on certain characters. But there's one thing that I find really creepy about this game. The lip syncing. Sometimes they've got it really good, and sometimes it's really bad. But the thing about the lip syncing or the animation that really gets me is the tongue. They look... I don't know, they just look like a rubber disc in their mouth. Like a circular rubber or plastic disc. And it just... I find it so funny.
What's wrong with you?
This one's mine.
And you killed him.
You think you can take out our leader? Hey, hold it.
Damn it. Yep. I do. Why?
To your left.
What are you doing up there? Alrighty.
Okay.
The dead bodies in here.
How to draw, but you can't teach good taste.
Alright, let's... There is actually a few more to kill, I think. Hang on. There... Thought there was something in here, in the water. Right? I was positive there was something around here then. No, I guess not. There's a body I missed there. Right. Anything back here? No. Been through there. Let's go this way. Nothing there. Come back to this because let's just get that. There are more guys around here that are going to want to kill us.
Nice shot. You take your best shot.
And you
Oh, you.
Rightio. And let's just... What we got? That's too much healing. That's not enough. Rabbit too much. Roast chicken too much. Cook rabbit bits, that's what we want. Just one of them gets us mostly healed. you. All of the Magrin's blessing. Okay, so this one's an interesting one because you've got to duck down and go over here so that you can go up this way to get up here. And this is actually where we were earlier. Sort of. It's close to where we were. We jumped down over there a little bit. I think from here we can get up onto there, but I don't think there's anything up there. Remember rightly. And I think that's everything that we need from up here. Is there anything else we needed here? Is it nighttime already? God, the day goes by so fast in this game. I think we just have to make that jump. Egg. More eggs and whatever's in that lockbox. Oh, that's right.
Here it comes.
It's a quick save before we go down here. Damn it. All right. That was a bit of a cluster, but we got through it.
Looks like a piece of a totem.
Is that everything in here? I think so. Everything else is outside. Don't know that we've actually got everything from up there that we can looted. From, like, that's the area up there. But I really don't feel like going back just now. So what I think we'll do is we got a whole bunch of stuff. Break down anything we're not going to use. Sell that. All good there. We'll sell those. So let's just quickly come over here and sell these few things, and then we'll go to our camp.
Mine.
Sell all of those. You don't have lockpicks, do you? No. Sell the canvas shoes, and we're done. Right. Back to our camp. Or one of them, anyway. Okay, no one wants to talk. I don't feel like I need to cook anything.
Look.
Why is it talking about the enchanting station when we don't have any unique weapons yet?
Marius, if you ever want to talk about anything.
Is it worthwhile updating the breastplate? That makes it fine. Yes, it is. That finishes that quest. And what I can do here is make as many of this stuff, because these are the second tier items. I should have... That's what I meant to do. Alright, with those second tier items, we can now upgrade our fine pistol once more, or our armor once more. What are we getting with the armor? An extra 4 damage reduction. Or with the pistol, we're getting an extra 12 damage. 81, and our second pistol is doing 46 at the moment, the left-hand side one, because the right-hand side... Sorry, the left-hand side one, because the right-hand side one is the upgraded damage. So we're currently doing 69. We'll end up doing 81. I like that. I think we'll upgrade the pistol. That's all we can afford to upgrade at the moment.
You know I'm here, right?
Right. Appreciate that, but I'm all right.
If you ever change your mind.
Okay. Let me just pause for a second, really quickly. So, one of my longtime viewers reminded me that Tempestuous Luandi, or however you pronounce their name, gee, I've had a level here for quite a while and haven't applied it. Tempestuous Luandi, who I'll point out in a second, actually I'll point out right now, over here on this island, there is a bunch of bandits, pirates, whatever. We want to go there, and then we're going to do that right now, and then we'll end the stream, I think. At this point, we can't take marksmanship level 2 because we need to be level 10 for that, and we're only level 6. We can't put any more points into Tanglefoot. We could go evasive, level 2, or we can go survivalist. Or we could pick something from fighter or wizard if we really had to. I think we'll reduce the cost of our dodge by an extra 10%. I think that'll work well. And then character, we're just, as we've said throughout this whole playthrough, the only thing we're going to increase is dexterity. I don't know if you remember, but the whole idea here is perception is what you're supposed to have to get critical hits. But if you're using a bow, or if you're using guns, pistol or arquebus, but not wands. Wands do not fall into this category. But with bows, pistols, and arquebuses, if you shoot at the vulnerable spot on an enemy, you always do a critical hit. It's called hitting their vulnerable spot, but it essentially does a critical hit, and it's when the text pops up in a gold circle. The damage pops up in a gold circle above their head whenever you do it. And I'm proving that you do not need perception at all to get critical hits when you're a ranged character. So I've got my build now where I'm just not using perception. All I'm going to maximize in this playthrough is dexterity. I took 1 point in might, a few points in constitution, and a few points in resolve when I started the build, just because I had to put the points somewhere. I could only put a maximum of 3 points into dexterity. And then the plan was to just, everything now is going to go into dexterity to maximize attack speed and action speed. So that includes reloading weapons, using consumables, moving, running, everything, and attacking. We want to be as fast as possible. And we want to be able, we will do crits whenever we like, just by hitting them in the right spot. Now, it is going to get hard later on when I come across new enemies and don't potentially know where their weak spot is. Now, for most, I'm going to assume that for most bipedal creatures, it's going to be the head, right? That's just going to be my assumption. If I do that and it doesn't work, I'll have to rethink things. But yeah, that's the way it's going to be. But for other creatures that, you know, I don't know, beetles, spiders, etc., sometimes it might be hard to find the weak spot. Now, if you're only using one weapon, you can aim down the sights and you can see a little white square or a little white diamond that indicates that is their vulnerable spot. And that makes it nice and easy. But anyway, we are here. We have gotten rid of the stuff we don't want. Let us... Damn it. I think there's actually another waypoint over there. But anyway, we're going to go and try and see if we can... So the thing is that Tempestuous Lundy, if I can get the name out, has the first unique pistol in the game. And so we are going to use that as our right-handed pistol, and we're going to keep the fine pistol that we've been upgrading in our left hand. That is going to be our loadout for a while now. We can loot that there, and I'll show you how. Why do I always do that? I always do that wrong. That's what we kept that grenade for. Whoops. I always do that. I always overshoot. And it makes it very hard to get up to it. We don't want to go there. I think we want to go there, if I remember rightly. Yes. We might go to that one first, just to be different. There are... Is that beetles or something? That is beetles. Alright. Okay, that was beetles.
I was just getting warmed up.
You didn't get very warm because I took them out like far too easily. Far too easy. Oh, there's another one of those. Alright, we don't need one at the moment. There's another one over there as well, actually. I wouldn't mind grabbing that one. These are the freeze bombs. Get them whenever you can because they are super useful. Okay, there's Tempestuous Lundy right there. I better save before I forget. Actually, that's not Tempestuous, that's a tree.
What was that?
And there you go. That worked out very, very well. Did not end up being that hard at all. Just don't, like, until you've at least gone and rescued the ambassador, don't come over here, because you will get chewed up and spat out by this group if you are too low level. It's not something that you should do early game, particularly the very first playthrough. If you don't really know what, haven't really got comfortable with the combat and etc., you will walk in here and you will die. It's that simple.
I promise you that.
All right. So here is Karok's Pride. Does only 69 damage at the moment, which is a little bit less than what my current fine pistol is doing, but power attacks deal high shock accumulation and hits deal a 10% bonus shock damage. And I think we're also wearing the occult hands, which give us an even more shock damage. So we're going to take that as our primary weapon, and then we're going to switch to that as our secondary weapon, and then we're going to break down those. So 69 and 81 damage. I really need to upgrade this Karok's pistol. And also, do we have anything to upgrade? No. We don't have enough stuff to upgrade the pistol. Let's just eat some cooked rabbit bits and get back to full health. So the other thing we will do is... Oh, hang on. I wanted to go... Oh, I thought there was another waypoint just here, but I don't think it's here. I think it's way over there that I'm thinking of. Oh, no, it is here. There we go. Not that we're going to come back here, but... if when we were doing Shantytown, if we had to just come over here and unhook that beacon, we could have gotten here a little bit quicker. Let's go back and pick up the bounty, claim the reward for that. Before we forget it, I think, is the way to go.
Oh, you're gonna look who it is.
One for you!
We make a good squad.
Anything I can say to her now that I've delivered this? I don't know that I've ever come back to...
This may be the most foolish thing
Nope.
I've ever gotten myself into.
That's fine. Alright. Those are just more of the assassins that attacked us there.
Welcome back, Envoy.
I want to claim a bounty, please.
Show it here.
Tempestuous Lundy.
Guess you were just the one storm she couldn't survive. Be safe out there, you hear?
Alrighty. We've got an essence potion. We're doing good for food. There's nothing here. We could sell an agate. Let's just double check that they don't have any more.
You made it back.
Upgrade materials. No, they don't have anything in the way of upgrade materials. Alright. We'll just sell that. Let's check her sister for upgrade materials. Pretty sure I've already got everything, but...
Mine.
Yeah, it's only that stuff, which I'm pretty sure we'll have, like, technically... Okay, well, let's just quickly do this. Technically, we will probably be able to change the enchantment on the pistol, but we won't be able to improve the quality of the pistol by the upgrade. So let's go and have a look at the enchanting of the pistol. Unique weapon enchant. See, this is the thing. I call it unique weapon enchants, but what you actually do is changing the enchantment that's already on there. Right? So currently it does shock accumulation on power attacks and a bonus 10% shock damage. We can... And most of these enchantments... So there's one of two paths you can go. You can only go one. I think you can change it. Oh, this action cannot be undone, so you can't change it again later. But the way that they do this is one of them doubles down. So, so this one doubles down on Distant Thunder, right? So power attacks now deal high shock accumulation to nearby enemies as well, right? So you do a power attack with this pistol, it's going to shock the target and any nearby enemies. And this option, when I kill an enemy with this weapon, there's a 25% chance to cast Crackling Bolt. I think I want that one, because what that should do, I don't know if that's going to replace Distant Thunder, or if that's going to... Actually...
You should keep an eye on that scrape on your arm.
Maybe we should save and just double check. Oh, I don't have enough Awakened Wood for that one, or that one. Okay. Can I make Awakened Wood? I cannot.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
That's the worst kind of...
Alright, I need to get more Awakened Wood then, I guess.
Flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snap flies like peeled skin. Fog mites look...
Marius... No, Kai has something.
I want to talk to you about Juliana. I know you're not asking my opinion, but for what it's worth, I appreciate you understanding her situation.
To make this clear, I sort of skipped over this when we were talking to Juliana. She is the mistress of the bathhouse. That shipment that we had found and gave to her, that actually contained contraceptives which are illegal. Not contraceptives, abortion drugs which are illegal. And that's what Kai is saying. He's saying he's appreciating her understanding. So she's not hurting anyone is the answer I'm going to go with.
Out here, you've got to live and let live. Principles are one thing, but you can't let them get in the way of basic decency. I wish more of your countrymen took that view.
And that's all. Good night.
I'll be here.
All right. All right. So, I wish I had realized that I needed more Awakened Wood to be able to finish doing that. But I think this is a good spot to leave this episode. So, we've done very, very well. We have explored most of South Paradise, and we've done pretty well everything on the far east side of the map, although the north part of the map, there is still a lot to do. Next episode, we are probably going to explore over here. We'll leave Ondra's Reach a little bit. There is some stuff that we have to do there, but we don't have the mission for it yet. But we'll just come and explore this area, and the Watcher that we need to see is up here, so we'll probably do that as well. Although it's probably useful to go into Northern Paradise as quickly as we can as well and get that out of the way. I think... No, I was going to say I think there's another item we could buy up there, but maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, I'm happy with how this is going. Character is progressing well. I may or may not dip into some other things in Fighter or Wizard later on. We shall see. I don't think I'll do anything wizardy. But Also, leave in chat if you're interested in seeing me play some of my Cypher build, which is really just a wizard with a pistol, and show off some of that build as well, because that might be interesting, I think, to some people. Why is that locked away? And that one locked away. But that isn't. You need a grimoire with that spell. So these are two spells that you cannot learn unless you have a grimoire already. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I will see you in the next episode.
Right. Well, stop.
Bye now.
That's just how my face looks, Marius. Hey, you got something on your mind? Something you want to talk about?
Where is it?
See, you're doing it now.